Well, hello there. I know we might be a little late. It's after 2 o'clock here, but we mentioned earlier it's 2 o'clock sometime. So you know what time it means? Take home Tuesday time. Did you know? Well, this could go two ways. We're having a party! Yay! We're having a party, so we're getting ready for the party. We've been working on it. Let's make something fun and simple today that you could use for graduation parties, or you could put it on your Christmas tree, all sorts of things. Super simple, super fun. We're gonna get ready for the party. So, my supplies I needed, plastic tablecloth, and some scissors, and some tape. Now, you can find a plastic tablecloth, even probably in your basement that you've used before. Perfect to use for this. I've done it before in different locations where it was leftover tablecloths, and we just cut them up and made them little pom-pom tassel garlands to hang over the doorway. So let's talk about how we're going to do this simple project today. So my plastic tablecloths I got actually came from the Dollar Tree, so they're a little bit maybe thinner than some other ones that you might find someplace, but it's very simple. You can use scissors, or if you happen to have we have one for cardboard here, a rotary cutter that is not for fabric, you could use that. So let's get started. I came over here and I have my tablecloth. I've started to unroll it, and I cut off about a 12-14 inch section right here. After I do that, I'm going to come back in here and find where the fold is, which on this one is right here. Open the fold, and I'm going to cut that fold. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually making 4 tassels in one cut. Now you could choose to make it a longer length or a shorter length. I've had 2 different lengths going. See, there we go. Are those the same length? Wait, I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun. There we go, 2 different lengths going. Okay, you can make them longer to have more fullness. I will give you a tip though. If you do more than 1 layer at a time, when we get to the fold up place, it gets a little harder to make it look like a tassel and twist it. So you're gonna see. So I have cut my layers now. So I have 4 layers, and the fold is out. And they kind of stick together. On this one, there's a layer right here on this side, so we're gonna cut that one too. Just a nice slice. Now to make things simple, I just fold it in half, because you could do it one of 2 ways. You could use scissors, and you could come in and you could cut and leave about the center open, because we want to leave about 1 inch down the middle. That's where we're going to be gathering it to make the pom-pom. I work smarter, not harder, right? Isn't that what they say? So we could use a cutting blade. If at home you happen to have a stripology ruler, you can lay that right down on it. Again, I'm using a cardboard rotary blade. You probably wouldn't want to use your fabric cutting blade, but I'm cutting up to there's about a 1/2 inch or so at the top of it, and I'm just doing every inch.
And Jamie, if we were wanting to make sure not to accidentally cut all the way through, you could actually position your ruler so that the 1/2 inch or inch in the middle that you want
so
is.
I can bring it up to like the top.
Yes, so that you wouldn't.
So I couldn't cut.
So you could not cut. Yes.
Yep. And now I gotta figure out where I was at. So yes, absolutely. And same thing here. You could do it with a ruler. If I didn't have my stripology ruler, close your blade, or you owe Goldie a quarter. I could use a ruler of any sort. I'm cutting about 1 inch strips, and I'm stopping. I just have a 1/2 inch from the fold, if you can see that. I could also come and do it with a blade. So I'm putting on my fold, so stopping about 1/2 inch. But I could also use just, these are old fabric scissors, so don't worry, they say fabric, but we've retired them to paper. And I could come up like that. So you don't have to have the quilting or sewing supplies to do this. And as you can see, I'm not even cutting straight, but does it really matter? Not on this project. On some projects it does. Okay, so now I have some, oh, I didn't cut this first one, hold on. That I cut in. So I open this up, I'm gonna have all these little stringies in a center. It's like a centipede or something. So all my little legs out like this. I really do think you could, this is something that you could do in front of the TV, or you could do it with the kids, grandkids. I did it with high schoolers before. We actually had a lot of fun doing it. So it looks like I have my centipede here laying on the table. So I'm just going to take one layer off at a time. I'm going to pull one layer off and lay it down on the table. I'm not too concerned about if I get it all flat. Of course, I've also done it where I lay it out and cut from both sides so I don't have to undo the layers. But from here then, you can see I kind of laid my centipede out. I'm just going to do a gather down the middle. Just being careful that I don't pull in the legs or the tassel strands as I go. So I'm just gathering it with my fingers. Again, it's not perfect, so I gathered it up with my fingers. So I guess you could almost leave it like that too. That'd be kind of cute if you just tied it like that. I did have some gold ribbon that I was tying stuff with, but you could tie gold ribbon through that and just tie it on a string. But for what we're doing, we're making a tassel, so now I'm going to pull it tight, and I'm just going to give it a twist here. Just like I'm twisting a twisty or bread closed like you do to keep it straight. And I'm wrapping it over. I just use my finger, go around my finger, and then give it another little twist so I have the hole. Now let's make it even more simple, and we just use some Scotch tape and come back in. Whoops, if I can do it. And I'm just going to tape that. Voila! So then when I get all of them done, of course if you wanted to make this a little fancier, you could put washi tape or the gold, we had gold back, what do I want to say, the curly ribbon. We were making some like that before because we were playing with it. I think I have one of, oh yeah, see, I was playing with just tying it. And that one I didn't put any tape on, I just tied it. But I was thinking if you're doing it with somebody that maybe it's hard dexterity-wise, that they could gather it up and you could tie, just the tape is probably easier than tying it. So then we're going to come back in and take our string, and we still have a few more to make for certain because we're going to fill our window. And whatever string you have, we actually had this one laying around. It's a piece of yarn, so we'll see how well it works going through this. We probably should have got a... And I suppose if you really were organized, you could do it over the string. And we're just going to start stringing them on. Oh. Live TV, you never know what's going to happen, right? So we just start stringing them on, and of course you can make a pattern or a color wave of them. I gotta find all the ones I already have made. And I'm just sticking it through the hole and pulling it on.
Are you worried, like at this point, they're sliding. They're sliding.
So then you could, if you really wanted them to be certain lengths apart, you could obviously put a little tape or something on them to hold them. Or it also gives you the opportunity, like once you get it hung, that you can spread them out wherever you want them to. So let's review. Fun, getting ready for a party. I having me a party. Yeah, it might be a party of one or two. Might just be Heidi and I don't know. But if it is, we're going to have a lot of cupcakes. So all you need was your string, tablecloth from the dollar store or wherever, and a cutting utensil.
And it was Cheryl is suggesting, I think this is a great idea, you could even use pinking shears.
Oh, yeah.
And Jamie and I are the only ones here, so whoever is calling, I will listen to the voicemail message as soon as we are off Facebook Live.
They must have figured it out because they stopped calling. So, again, then I folded it in half, made sure I cut any folds that was in here. You could, of course, take it and cut it individual layers, but why when you can do it like this? Laid out my centipede. Quick gather with my fingers. There's nothing scientific about this, whether it is even perfect or not. I'm just quickly gathering it up with my fingers. Into the handlebar now. From here, I'm giving it some twists. And you know, when you do this, some of them are going to turn out better than others. Some of them aren't, depending how hard you twist it, how much you twist it. Around my finger. And give another little twist around to make my loop. This is where I would love to tie the gold on it because I think it just makes it fun. But then I'm just coming back in and putting my Scotch tape on. And if I find the end of, then I can just start threading it onto my string. And of course you could use any string. We just happened to find some yarn laying around. You know, Heidi, you could even do this like a Halloween or a decoration outside for trick-or-treaters or anything like that. So your Take-Home Tuesday today was very simple, fun. Go find some scrap old plastic tablecloths in your basement and see what you can make for fun. We'll see you next Tuesday with something else fun and creative for you. Until then, have fun, be creative, and remember, choose happy.